Today, I'm going to show you a great beginner setup that won't break the bank, as it took me a long time to afford my setup. But you can get 80% of the way there with the products I'm about to show you at a fraction of the cost. Seriously, almost everything I'm about to show you costs about the same as 2 or 3 of my main peripherals. As a quick disclaimer, most of these products were sent out to me for review either directly or through Best Buy's Tech Insider program, which is what inspired this review. Links to everything will be down in the description down below. Future Tommy here. Mistakes were made while I was making this video. Unfortunately, for some reason, I think I had my microphone on for my PC instead of this guy, so the mic quality was just completely terrible. It has a 16mm large diaphragm, wide frequency, 20 Hz to 20 kHz. So I had to re-record the entire video, so I do apologize if some things seem a little sketchy. Starting off with the setup, you'll need a desk and a chair. Literally anything will do. Personally, I'm using a cheap desk from IKEA and an affordable gaming chair that was sent to me by GTRacing. Link to that is in the video description. Next, you'll need a monitor. I'd personally go with the Samsung Odyssey CRG5 24-inch curved full HD 144 Hz FreeSync monitor that I used for years, but I gave it to my dad, so this 4K monitor is going to be a stand-in. If you have a TV, you can also use that. Last, you're going to need a gaming PC. I'm assuming you already have one of those. If not, the Dell G15 is what I'm going to be using in this review. Starting off with one of my favorites in this haul is the Tonor Q9 Microphone Kit. It comes with everything you need to get started, which includes a metal boom arm that extends up to 27.5 inches, a metal shock mount, and a USB condenser microphone. Setup is straightforward. Start with this guy, then we're going to put it on our desk. Then you simply take this guy, you put it inside the attachment right there. You've got your shock mount, which the microphone is going to go inside of. There's a lot of foam inside of there, so what I'm going to do is spread it apart and put that guy in, and then this guy screws onto the tip. And once that's tight, you're going to tighten this guy right here to make sure that this arm doesn't move, and then you're going to tighten this guy right here to make sure that doesn't move. Undo the USB, plug that in to the bottom of the mouse, and the other side into your computer. If you so please, you can also put this boom arm on, which would just simply attach to the actual boom arm, and then this comes out in front of it. It has a 16mm large diaphragm, wide frequency, 20 Hz to 20 kHz sound, which I'll turn on right now. Makes me look all fancy and professional, huh? Personally, I'm a huge fan of these kits, as I find them to provide a lot better value over buying a Blue Yeti or Blue Snowball, as I think they sound just as good, if not better. You can also find them for less, and you get a ton of additional items. Unique feature with this microphone are the volume controls on the front of the device. By long pressing them, it turns off the microphone, which is a nice feature. Be used on consoles, laptops, or Mac or Windows PCs. Personally, I love boom arms as you can finally adjust them while using them, and when you are done, they can just move out of the way. I'll let you decide on how good or bad this microphone is, as this will be the main microphone that I'm using throughout this review, unless if otherwise stated. We need something to connect our gaming machine to our monitor. I went with the HongFlux HDMI cable, as it is long, 30 feet, and fully meets HDMI 2.1 standards, meaning I can get all that juicy goodness no matter what I plug it into now or in the future. Or otherwise, it's an 8K HDMI 2.1 fiber optic cable that supports 48 gigabytes per second through rate, supporting 8K at 60 FPS, 4K at 120 FPS, dynamic HDR, eARC, ALLM, QFT, QMS, and variable refresh rate, making it perfect for anything you've got now or will be upgrading to the future, such as a PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or NVIDIA RTX 3080 or 3090 graphics cards. You need to make sure that you're paying attention to which end goes where, as they are labeled display to plug into your monitor or TV, and source, which in this case will be my laptop, but could also be a graphics card or console. Each end is made from metal with gold tips. The cable is very thin and surrounded in a malleable, high-quality rubber. It's very attractive, and I dig it. Outside of this video, I'll be running this guy from my main gaming PC to my 75-inch 4K TV in my room so I can game on the big screen, as all of the other HDMI cables that I own are just simply too short. Starting off with my favorite product from Marvo, the HG9053 Optical Mechanical Gaming Keyboard. You heard that right, optical switches on an inexpensive keyboard, which means zero debounce delay and immunity to key chatter. They are rated for 100 million clicks. It is a clicky switch, meaning they are loud, have an audible click, and a tactile bump. They are semi-heavy with 60 grams of actuation, but this prevents you from bottoming out with them. I find these types of switches to be perfect for typing. Personally, I'm getting around 107 to 110 words per minute. I also find them to be perfect for games as they are incredibly responsive, and the tactile bump notifies me the moment it is registered so I can move on to the next press. With the secondary functions, you also get a bunch of additional things, some of which are rather unique, such as opening settings, browser, mail, or calculator, along with your more traditional secondary functions such as media controls, volume controls, RGB presets, RGB speed up or slow down, RGB brightness, and Windows lock, along with 5 macro keys. It has an aluminum top plate with brushed metal edges and single step ups. The RGB is surprisingly awesome as the colors are accurate but a bit dim even at the brightest settings. You also get edge lighting all the way around the keyboard, which I'm a fan of, even if it is hard to see unless the lights are off and you are at the perfect viewing angle. Build quality is solid. I didn't get any pinging of the keys, or at least that I could hear with the clicky switches, as again, those are very loud. Stabilizers are just fine, and it comes with a braided cable, which is tiny, but also not very malleable. Honestly, I dig it. I could easily use this keyboard for a long time and not have any issues, but the font is gross and the clicky keys are not for everyone. Here is a quick sound test. Next, we have one of the most unique mice I've tried with the MARVO Fit Lite gaming mouse. It is unique as you can swap out the shell to either be large or small. These sizes also come in a plethora of different colors, which you can buy separately. They sent out coral orange and jade green, which both look great. So as you can see, you've got all 3 of them. In order to pop it out, you're going to take the buttons themselves out, and then you just push down on the top of the mouse right there. And then the shell piece comes off, and you've got the tiny mouse itself, and then this just will fold on, or this will just fold on. So let me show you a little bit what all of these colors would look like. So there's the large, there's the small, and once the shell's in, you just slide in the side buttons and you're good to go. Swapping them out is simple. Just take out the side buttons and then push the front of the shell and then slide the new one in place. This is a heavy mouse by today's standards, with it weighing 98 grams with the large grip and 87 grams with the small. You may think they'd sacrifice build quality due to this, but it feels great and I notice no creaking or rattles. It is a wired mouse with a bottom of the line, yet still flawless PixArt 3327 sensor. The report it goes all the way up to 12,000 DPI, but really it's 6,200 before you start to introduce smoothing and other things you don't want. I didn't notice any spinouts or issues, but it is a lower end sensor and my scores in games reflected that when compared to the best of the best. But for those just starting out, it will likely be an upgrade from your non-standard gaming mouse. It comes with Omron switches, which are fine. It has moderate pre/post travel with mild spring back force, making the switch feel a bit mushy, but you can easily spam click it. Scroll wheel is solid with a rubber coating for grip. It is easily detectable with dedicated steps and require a light amount of pressure to scroll. Middle mouse click is meh, as it requires severe pressure to actuate. Side clicks are magnetic. Due to that, they wobble a bit, which is pretty standard for that tech. Outside of that, they feel great and are extremely crisp. They have moderate pre/post travel, require moderate force, and have strong spring back force. They are in the right spot and are easy to dedicate or roll click. I'm a big fan. It has 100% PTFE feet, which glide surprisingly well. The cable is 1.8 meters long and is flexible, making it paracord-like. I'd say it's as flexible, if not a bit more, than most of the mice I try on my channel. The RGB lighting is quite impressive, as well as split into 3 zones, which are the front bottom of the mouse, the rear, and my personal favorite, the scroll wheel. It sports a safe shape on what I think most people will enjoy, with asymmetrical sides, a lowered front, and a good hump on the back. With the small grip, it forces claw and fingertip, and with the large, only palm, although I guess you could also do claw or fingertip. The biggest con I have for this guy is the stock DPI starts at 1200 DPI, which is silly as the majority of gamers use 400 or 800 DPI. To change the DPI, you have to download their software, which you can get by going to the Fit Lite page and scrolling to the bottom where you download it from Dropbox. Maybe this is just me, but that sounds sketchy to me. Then you download it and you get a Windows prompt that says this could be a virus which will destroy the entire world. Then you download it and bam, civilization as we know it completely ends. Just kidding. It actually just allows you to further customize your mouse by having the ability to change all the buttons to something else and adjust DPI and lighting along with creating macros. It's actually a really good, robust software that I enjoy. I did scan it with my antivirus and nothing bad came back. Do download at your own risk. Last but certainly not least is the Marvo HG9053 7.1 surround sound gaming headset. And it's fine. It's not great and it's not bad, but it's good. Solid. Even. It works via USB and has an inline remote control where you have several different features, which include mic mute unmute, volume mute unmute, volume down and volume up, along with 4 sound profiles. The game preset adds a bit of bass, the movie preset eliminates most bass and makes it more treble focused, while the music preset adds even more bass than the gaming one. And then you have the neutral setting where everything is more or less equal, but it is still more of a bass heavy type of headset. Overall, sound is good. It has good locational sound where I can easily locate enemies and hear their footsteps. Imaging is good where I can pick apart different sounds. However, these sounds aren't always fully accurate as something always just sounds a bit off. I found it was enjoyable for competitive games and single player gaming. Overall comfort is good as you have large ear cups with fake leather and a good amount of padding with mild movement anteriorly, posteriorly, and laterally. You do have dedicated adjustments. The headband is a strip of cloth that has no padding but evenly puts pressure across the top of your head, making it very comfortable, even when worn for a long period of time. It appears to be an open back headset where you can easily still hear what's going around in the room around you. It is made from a surprising amount of metal and I don't think the frame will be breaking easily. However, I do worry about the little thin wires as that would be somewhere where this guy would break. I also dig the look as it reminds me a lot of Pilot headphones. The microphone itself is quite impressive. I've been using it the entire time for this section. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And just like that, you have a budget gaming setup. Hopefully you enjoyed this setup/review video as it is a new style I'm trying out, so let me know in the comment section down below if I should do more or less videos like this. Once again, all products are down in the description. Like, dislike, share, subscribe if you'd like. Otherwise, I'll see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless and peace out.